There we go.
Stop filled.
Oh, it's got another stop filled.
Order filled. Order filled.
There we go. All right. So as soon as we get some peeps. Oh, I can start.
I like the title. Seeking new lows or trapping shorts. And that's really what we're doing. I mean, it's a significant area, so it could just be building up open interest to either pop or a quick drop.
Oh, I could show this one here. I think it's pretty interesting. What have I got here? All right, we got some peeps. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, there's a few. All right, Eighth and T. Zafar. Oh, Space Lord Motherfucker. That's a good handle right there. I'm surprised that was available.
Say my name. Thala Satish.
Where's that? Oh, yeah, that's yeah. Thala. That's not too, well, maybe not pronouncing it right. Tala. I'm going to guess that's Tala Satish. What's up, guys? Glad you're here. Well, we got, we'll probably be about 2 hours today. We got not as many as yesterday, but we're going to pick up where we left off. Oh, so we usually start around 20. James M, how you doing, man? We got to figure that Ethereum out. Well, markets are not happy. We definitely seen some things we haven't seen for a long time. All right, what we got? We get a couple more here since we were touch on from India. Tala Satish. I play squash with a lot of guys from India, so I'm not too bad on the India names. Oh, let's get a couple more in here. Oh, shit. No, I just lost this. Here we go. We got 16. All right. One more. Dylan. There we go. All right. Drop for a final 5, then rip. Okay. I'm not sure what asset you're talking about. Okay. Let's go ahead and get her started. Let me get rid of my disclaimer here. I just start here. Members have mostly seen this, but I thought this was kind of interesting in Bitcoin. This is just another algorithm I call it the wolf range. That's the guy who taught it to me. The members have all seen this, but some of the YouTube subs may not. And so it's just a range expansion. So the greens are 200 and 400, and the magenta purple is 100 and 200. And you can see this is within ticks on the way up. So it's defining the initial range. Here's the initial swing that defines the initial range, 200%, 400%. All right, now we can deduce from that there's zero probability that that's random, zero. You might say, oh, maybe, right? Maybe that was just coincidence on the way up. Now look on the way down, same thing, same range, right? The initial range, right? We back to the 50, same thing, although we almost break the range here. Here's the 100 to a tick, 200 to a tick. So you see how this, just another algorithm, right? All we can do is track its footprints and see what it's done last. But when the other algo is off or slightly doesn't look right here, this is the first place I'll go and say which algo is running in here. Now, of course, as we come down here, you guys have probably all seen this. I know members will have. Right to the golden zone. Well, let's see, I'm on a 4 hour. There's another one here. Oh, shit, it's on a 15-minute. I'm not sure where I put it. Here it is, right? So we're right now, we're just in a box, an algo box right here, right? Two golden zones, just fighting it back and forth. Interesting. Right now, if this breaks, you know where the target is, right? So this guy's looking for that. Now that's 44.8. It'll get interesting. All right. So without all that said, let me bring this over here. So you still have a little bit of time on this one. Oh shit! Did that work? Yeah, that did. Okay, so this is our trading comp, the PHEMEX thing. What do we got? We got 54 people. If you're interested in doing this with us, you got to hurry up. Monty, how much time do we have?
Should be at the top there.
Oh.
But 14 hours, 19 minutes.
Oh, I see it. Okay, right there.
Yeah, so
okay.
that's basically you have to have your account funded and join the team. So if you don't have an account already, join the Discord and get the how to join link, and then that'll join the team.
Yeah.
And
now, can free members do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there you go, guys. So it's open to everyone.
Yeah, and so I've also opened up for the time being. I've opened up view only social. So a free member that joins, they're going to be able to view our paid side. They can't message, of course, but they can view everything that's going on.
Oh, that's a good thought, right? It's a good idea, so they can kind of get a feel for it.
Right. Yeah, and so it incentivizes people to create a PHEMEX account and then join the team. So
yeah, terrific. All right. Well, I can't wait to see how this goes. Monty's been hot, right? He runs the team, so you guys are going to learn a lot. Okay, let me bring this back over here now. ILV. Jesus, I don't even know what it is. ILV. I'm going to have to look that up. You know what that is?
It's a new crypto. I don't know exactly what it is, but I know it's a new one.
It's Alluvium. Alluvium. I'm over here on Coin Checkup. Well, it looks like it's interesting. I'm going to take a little heat.
Alluvium is an open world fantasy battle game built on the Ethereum blockchain, often touted as the first AAA game on Ethereum.
Interesting.
So, I'm not sure exactly what type of game, I guess, but I guess open world exploration in a PvP battle game.
Oh, interesting. Sounds cool.
So all right. Some meta world thing.
Yeah, we love meta. All right. Well, this, oh shit. Is this local? Who posted this? I'm in the wrong spot here. This is, no, this is Frayed 57. Excuse me. Frayed 57. Okay. So I got a nice clean impulse heading up here. Oh, well, I said this. Oh, that makes sense, right? So this is just hits the exchange, you bounce a little bit. It's tempting to think 1-2, but then it would kind of fuck up that count. So I'm good with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks pretty solid here. So we got I suppose there's no better way to read that. So the anticipation here is for the B. So Frayed is setting this up on the anticipation we get a kicker here to complete this. So you'll note here he's looking for entry just shy of the golden zone here, which would be the prime case, right? And just a reminder why we like golden zone. 1, we know algorithms fire there. 2, this is a simple concept, but I'm going to mention this just in case people just don't have clarity on this. You always want to enter as close to where you're wrong as you can, right? Because then the risk is the smallest. So, I mean, we know the algo fires at the 50. It's just more common, and if the 50 doesn't turn it, once it breaks the 50, it's going to the golden zone. Very, very typically, a high percentage of the time, it's going to go challenge the golden zone. Not always, right? Nothing's 100%. We see them split, but as well. But the idea being here, if you got through this, now you're kind of extending. Now, as you get to the golden zone, bulls start eyeballing that swing high, right? Because they want to go get those. A long way to go. They want to get it. So here, that's why I'm always trying to teach that. Okay, if I'm wrong, okay, you're not going to hurt me here, right? Right. I always use the boxing analogy, right? You can jab me, but that's not going to be an uppercut to the jaw. And if I get the turn, well, I've got maximum return, minimum risk. Right? Simple conceptually, but sometimes I assume things. So just some clarity there. And just to follow that thought through, in the same, I guess I got to change that here. So in the same thought being, if we get the B here, sometimes people, you'll hear me say something like, you don't have to be there with a limit order because that's a little bit scary, right? The market can be pushing shit. Is it going to hold? Is it going to hold? That's why if you get the little reaction and you get that first pullback, that first test, because and again, I reference this a lot, if it does that, the bulls are still going to be, they're still thinking we can break the highs. That's why if you get up here and you can't get them, right, then the bulls that were pushing for this to continue, they have to cover, right? Oh shit. Right, that's what happens, right? That's what drives. That's why, once again, right, when you're, what is it? Is it purple belt? Yeah, purple belt. The trades that we ask you to document 50 trades of threes and C's only, right? Which is why we do it, right? Same thing with a 2. Could be a 2. Got to cover, right? And that kicks the 3. Same with the C. See, I mean, to some degree, you could say the same thing here, right? You could trade the A, the B, and you could trade the C of the B, right? Don't shy away from that just because you're thinking, the longer count here looks bearish, that this correction doesn't look like it's done. Well, shit. I mean, the market doesn't have to do anything, right? You could make a pretty strong case there. All we did was just come back to structure, right? Okay, again, think about it. All right, so these guys caught that, right? Now, depending on who it is, right? Retail's probably long out, but whales, they catch this. They're saying, I'm going to defend here. We'll kick it back up. So often you get the reaction just at structure. That's why same thing at a fib zone, right? Because they're going to defend there. Whoa. Let's get that back up, right? That's what they're doing. Freight 57 has gotten really good. So, I mean, the only other thing here, this is, what are we on, a 4-hour here? That's not the greatest structure over there. I mean, you could probably talk yourself into this being a completed correction, but it's not deep enough. So, hang on a second. Let's get that one. Oh, that's his fib time. Okay, interesting. I didn't even notice that. Shit. Okay, so he's taking the length of the 1, then going out here would be 100% in time, right? So that's good. Good job, Freight 57, bringing in some fib time. If you can combine, 3 elements, pattern, price, and time. Right now, you can throw into that geometry or a confluence points in fib relationships, the way Grant F has gotten so good at that, where he'll always build that in. So I'm thinking about, so if you were to get this right now, this is a whole lot of if, shit could be over here, right? Something like this. Now you've got the additional confluence here of time. Oh shit, I'd be over here looking at that saying, boy, that was pretty good rejection here. So something interesting could be setting up here. Now, same situation, right? Now, do you want to sit here with a limit order? Right? Not that, I mean, it's the golden zone here, so there's going to be a reaction, but if it's coming straight down, that's a hard trade to take, right? But I would tell you, the trade that you're most uncomfortable with, likely your best trade. You wait for the reaction, right? Now, if it retraces, it's the same thing conceptually. Where's your stop, right? Or close by, right? Again, as close to where you're wrong as you can do it. Now, do I get the 1? So this is one that's just in the oven, right? Still got a lot to happen before you get there. So this one needs to bake for some time. But certainly, what looks like, certainly the market likes it. A lot of enthusiasm for it. Holy shit, did you see this price? God, I'm not even paying attention to where it's trading. Jesus, it hit, is that? I didn't even really notice where we were trading, but look, shit, we hit the market at 400. Wow. Obviously the market likes this thing. So to get that bigger retracement might be, more than the market will give you. So don't ignore the 50. Don't always be golden zone, right? If you get the right configuration here, if this comes down with it, we get a clean 5 here, you get a little divergence, all the ingredients you're looking for, you got structure right here. Prior, right, he's going to hold again.
Yeah, so it looks like there's only 642,000 circulating with a max supply of 10 million. So that's why it hit.
Yeah. Wow. And
hit,
we got
hit
all
with a
the
high
way up
number
to
because there's a low number of coins.
Yeah. Funny how that works, supply and demand. I knew I should have paid attention to that more in school. Econ 101. It is interesting how people get better at math when you put a dollar sign in front of it. My wife always tells me that. Oh, I'm terrible at math until you put a dollar sign in it. All right, let me keep moving. That's a good one for a watch list here. Now, this would be, one that's got to take some time, but good one to get on your list, right? I'd never heard of them, but they're definitely going to be a player. All right, let me keep going. So next I got Koki, who's given us Link. Red or green? See, I got to look at. He's giving me some notes here. All right. Greetings from the Netherlands. One of my partners works in the Netherlands, Frans van Geest. Does all of our coding for NinjaTrader. He's based in the Netherlands. Okay, let me save that. All right, Link. Once a market darling. Well, what are we on? Binance here? I mean, it's still not terribly bad. So, we're in log scale. That's why. All right, so let's take it out of log just to get a little perspective, right? So when you bring up Link, it's hard not to see this and think, oh shit, what happened to Link? Put it in log scale, it looks a little bit better here. So now he gave me a note, red or green on last move. Green 1 looks impulsive, but my subdivision showed me zigzag. How do I see it? Well, this is, boy, I like this. Nice confluence here. 1, 2, well, I would start, first thing I'd do is just a little measuring. How do we look here? Well, that's going to be 127,138. Let me get mine on there just so I'm used to it. Okay, so we hit that window, that 127,138 window. A good candidate, right? Second most common for a third. Well, it sure would balance better. Now, okay, so that's off the 2. Okay, so here, I guess I got to just do that. Oh, let me just do measured move here so I can see it. Okay, so here's the first tag at the 38. Failure swing, right? If they were going to get an abrupt 4, you would have pushed here. So hard not to like the idea of this coming down lower. All right, we're on a daily. Let's go to an 8. See what the, oh man. See, it's funny you guys do this. To me, that's harder to interpret when everything's in the same color. So I'm just going to change. It's just harder to see it. 1, 2. All right, same thing here. This could just be my own preferences here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so I like the A. Well, you got nothing else to do there. So A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I like you here. Into a W. I'm gonna just, this could just be, I'm just so used to it, I got to do it this way. So could be, right? So, okay, maybe 1, 2, but right. So you'd be doing an ABC, right? So we'll here clear 3 here into the X. God, that looks exactly like the last swing in Bitcoin. I mean, almost identically. Can you call that? Jesus, can we get a diag in there? You might be able to get one to here. Fuck. I don't think you can get an impulse in there. 1, 2, or we have to go 1, A, B, C, 2. You'd have to do your 3 here, so let's label that up. Okay, does that work? 1, 2, 3. Shit. You might need that. Oh. I think you need that. No, maybe not. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So diag, right, gets it done. Oh, it amazes me you guys can see those colors. All right. So there's that. There's that. Can't say I love that, but here on an 8, I'm not going to spend any more time on it, right? So, because I like the thinking that we've got a zigzag here. That I might come up with something slightly different, but either way, right? So if you just put a channel around this, right, it's pretty clear that we, even if you allowed for a little slop here, right? We were self-contained. Now the break, you didn't even get a retest. This was just a hard break, and it's pushing away from it. So I like this. Oh fuck! Here we're doing. So we're doing WXY. This is a candidate for your alternate count that we went A. Oh shit! How are we doing this? A, B, C, W, A, B, C, X, W, X, Y. Okay, I got it. So I got to change this. All right. So it takes me a minute to follow what you're thinking here. All right. So I got a WXY into an X. WXY. Wait a second. I got to get an ABC in here, so I can't do that. WX. Fuck, how am I going to get that? A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll do it. Okay, so we're going to do it this way. A, B, C. Looks like that'll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, we can let a diag fly there. Okay, so the X is in. Now we need an ABC. So 1, 2. Looks like 1, 2. Oh, Jesus Christ! This looks exactly like Bitcoin. Exactly. Oh, 1, 2, right? Well, that's your best. This looks like the 4 of the 5, so it looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that looks pretty solid as a. Oh, pardon me, we're doing a A. That looks like you got a decent A, a B now. Maybe on the C. I mean, it's mirror image, damn near, right? So this is all rejection wick as we probe down here, right? Bitcoin doing essentially the same thing. Here's that section, looks exactly the same. This section here. One more probe down. Well, I'd want to see what happened at this pivot other than just the obvious structure there. Just like Bitcoin. Right, just working off of the proposed pivot up here. I was just the only reason I know to go there is because I did the same thing in Bitcoin and found what they're using. So here's their target down here, which would be, well, nothing says we have to stop here, but you can see how that could be an area that you might get a reaction. So here would be the algo target on this. So A, B, 1, 2, 3, right? Everybody's wondering the same thing. Is that 1, 2, 3? Well, that would be the easiest solution if we're going to finish down here, and let's bring it down a little bit. This trend line will have a factor. Okay, let's pull back out and see what we're doing. Okay, so we're trying to get the 4. Now, right, prior 3, 4, always a good area to highlight. All right, so we're right in the midst of that. Well, I certainly have this. I'm probably on here. I can almost see. Yeah, it's already on here. So here's the 100%. So that's what he's targeting here. I'd want the 618 in there as well. Looks like you don't have it. So let's get that on. I think, did I get it? Oh shit. Here, I'll just do mine. That's not what I want. I want that one. Okay, so here's the 618. Here's the 100. Here's the algo target at POC. Boy, I'd pay attention here as well. Right, now here's the classic. So what he's thinking, right? If we go to the 50 here, we'll get. Well, you certainly would have some structure to work with there. Right, you got all of that to play with as well. Well, I'll tell you what, if you get here and you get a reaction, I'd be paying attention. Now, you're going to have to get through, that's the big one. Right, if you got your pivot down, one is somewhere down here, you got a lot of work to get through that. A lot of resistance to clear, but boy, it's hard not to like the potential here, which again is much like Bitcoin, is we're considering the possibility of a flat going in there. So let's go back to that daily. This is getting more interesting. I would stack these in my watch list right next to Bitcoin, right, because they seem to be tracking so closely here. Oh, let's see, got a good channel off the low. The 1, 2. Look at the nice channeling. So the market's allowing this, right? The 1, the 2, and the 3. It doesn't always play ball like that. So this channel is definitely worth paying attention to. I might fatten that up a bit, right, as we come right. So if we'd have the intersection here, so you have all the confluence points down here. Let's bring this down a little bit. Got a high volume node. You'd have, well, you'd be in between the 618, but you'd be really, you're looking for the confluence point here at the 38 and the channel, the downsloping channel, the 38. Oh, what do you got below? Maybe a hint of divergence here, but it looks like it needs to come down one more time. I might start nibbling here at the 38. if it goes a little bit lower, I'd have a well, so this high volume node is definitely of interest. So if it starts to come down a little further than that, I'd set out a plan to have, move that, to have some layered entries in here, right? With obviously you got to have a point where you say, okay, that's too much, that's enough, or that's more than I'm comfortable with, and then just look for that reaction. So if you're coming down here, if that's AB and that's the 3 and that's the 4, based on what we see in there, it says there's another way to interpret that. AB 1, 2, let's go. Shit, here I gotta do it this way, or I'll lose it. Let's try a 2 hour. That's a big 4, which makes you a little bit hesitant. Let's see, I guess we have to do A, B, C. 1, 2. No one said it was going to be easy. That's a little iffy. So I would love it a little bit more. This low needs to get tested. I think the same in Bitcoin. Now, is that enough of a test? Well, note here the cliff in the volume profile. If we come down here, there's nothing there, right? There's nothing here. So there's going to be a reason for that. Well, there we get a little more as I bring in visible range. But if I go off to the side here and I just look at visible range, let's just do it this way. From this pivot high, which is essentially what I'm looking at here, we get this big gap down here. So there's nothing really for it to base off of until we get lower, right? And now you pull in, so if I bring it over, now we start to bring in some of this, and that will start to fatten up. But that's because it's visible range. So you could do the same thing. You just do it with, oh shit, I should just do it this way. Oh, they changed this. So there it is. Yeah, there it is. So let's do a fixed ranged. So you might do this as well. All right, POC, interesting. Pretty close there. Looks like that's vulnerable for one more kick down here. I'd be heads up down here if I got this. Now, where are we? If that's for note Vegas wave, right? Split the lips again at a golden zone. I see it all the time. Right? Down. Now if that's 1, 2, right? If that's 1, 2, we're looking for, well, just measure it out. So where, right? For planning a trade. Okay, so let's label it. If that's 1, 2, right, why not use 3 for most probable, right? Coming lower, right? This all the more why, well, perhaps a layering in, just kind of pyramiding in as it comes down with a point where you say, okay, that's too much, that's too far, I'm wrong. Might lay that out rather nicely. 3 at the, so you'd come down here, 3 to the 618, get a little kickback here. You could see that structure kicking one more time, right? How far? It depends on what's happening in the broader market, but something like that looks like it could play out just beautifully. That would be a really unusually shaped, actually, finish, though, because of the kick, but because that's a liquidation wick. This would be pretty, actually, right, this is what you're asking of the market. All right, now this is log scale, so it's going to be a little wonky. That's technically valid. I don't know that that's what I wouldn't be shorting with that, predicting that. But if I were to get that down here, I'd be buying it. But this, I'd want to see, we got one more channel we could draw on here. I'd want to see this, a little more clarity here. Let's stay in that. We start breaking, then you start looking at how does it deal with, well, shit, here's the obvious. How do we deal with it right here? Right, that's the next hurdle it's got to get through. Here's the POC and the edge of all that volume, which you can just understand why that's there. That's a big hurdle for that to get through. So good, Koki, that's nice work in there. I hadn't looked at Link in some time. I think you're on the right track there. So as far as I see it, we're still seeking the 4 down here. Somewhere down here, we're looking for that 4. Watch list for sure. Oh God, I guess to finish it off, we can't leave this out. Oh, let's go to. All right, now look at the confluence here. So we've got center line of the channel, median line, the lower parallel here. So this starts to get pretty interesting down here. If we get anywhere in there, I got a little high volume node over here. Boy, that tees it up pretty nicely. So where's the play? If we come down here, if we get the 3, the 4, and the 5 in there, ooh, right now you don't have to sit with a limit order. Just wait for the reaction. Right. So what's the first thing it's going to do? Because it would be vulnerable to this, right? The retest from below, and we're heading to the golden zone. But then you'd have to reconsider how you're counting that. So I'd be here. I'd take it, right? Anticipate there's the first thing. There's the first hurdle, right? That pivot, right? You know there's going to be resistance there. So it's going to have to come up here. Likely it'll kick. There'll be shorts will be defending there, and there's the place I'd buy it. Right. If I took a piece here, I'd be adding here, looking for that to come out of there. Now that if Link is doing that, then crypto's recovering, right? Alts starting to move. Okay, all right, we gave that a pretty good look there. All of that in search of this 4. Let's put that in the big, so we can see it. Into this. This is the 4 we're seeking right down here. Watch list for sure. Okay, nice job, Koki. All right, I got back-to-back from Koki. I got AAVE. So let's see what we got cooking here. All right, I got to do this here. Just taking a peek at Bitcoin, how we're doing. It's, almost a triple bottom there. Okay, so this looks very similar, right? Nice rip out of the chute here. Same thing with these giant degrees. You guys are funny. Okay, what do we? Oh, that's kind of interesting. Okay, so we're doing a 1. Let's go minuet. Oh, what do we not use here? So 1. That's ABC. Pardon me. How did we do that? All right. Well, so I don't. I'm not sure you got 3. Well, we are on a daily. Oh, fuck. It doesn't matter, right? At this point, right? So there's the correction. All right. So he's doing it via WX into a Y. I'd have to see that at lower time frames, but let's go with it. I'm assuming he's done it. He knows what he's doing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That could be a little. Oh, well, okay. So we're back in log scale. If that's the 2, how far do we get? Right, because the thought would be. All right, let's stay with it. I don't know that needs to be picked apart here. Here's a WX. Almost the same thing, right? Does it matter how we label this? I don't know that it does, right? Here, right? What are we doing here? We're just going sideways, not progressing the trend. You got one more last little kick up here. So I'll go with this as the 4 is the 5. That seems reasonable. ABC into the X. Oh, looks like you got to do a diag here. 1, 2, 3 into the B. All right, I would allow for that. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that'll work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, you're giving me the biggies out here. 3, 4. So you see a little bit better there. So there's our little liquidation issue. Oh, I might. Yeah. So what do you do with that? That looks like diag BC into the 2. Well, you get somewhat of an artificial 1 because of that wick, but it gets us far enough. So even using that, you can get there. Same process every time, right? So, oh shit, okay, it looks like that's a good candidate for the 2. That's far enough for the 3 into the 4 between the 38 and the 50. Vegas wave is right there. Boy, that was a nice little trade, right into the sell-off. I mean, these are not that hard to spot, really. I mean, the hard part is you get nervous there. Oh shit, it's going up. Well, you have to look at it and say, well, the odds are there's going to be some resistance here. Not only are we just technically based on the retracement here, okay, I'm below the Vegas wave here. I'm coming into prior structure. Here's a high volume node. It's kind of the same idea here. You're taking this. Okay, where's your stop? Well, depending on the size you're putting on, are you trading with leverage? The max you would give it is up here. All right, what are you after? You're already to and through the first target, didn't even pause, right? So it went right to it. But that'd be questionable as to whether or not that's a true algo play. That might be a little closer. At least they banged the 50. But here, it's just, those trades are not that hard to take, right? It's not that hard to spot it. It's consistent with the broader trend. Okay, we've had a topping action here. These look like they're too far for algos, right? So that you've had the break here. So okay, well, almost do it this way. All right, punctured. Can't get right. So what are these guys trying to do? Same thing every time. Same psychology. Oh, we broke the golden zone. Let's go get it. Let's go get those, right? Oh, those are juicy. Those are going to be there. Oh. So this trade, right? This is, you can't predict that, right? Now once it breaks back under and then a little retrace, it doesn't look like, hey, that thing doesn't look like you're about to do this, right? Does it? Right? This right off the chute, that's in your face rejection. Little retrace, even that would have been hard to take. Oh shit, I don't know. We're kind of right. Is there enough there to really say, okay, I'm pulling the trigger? Probably not, right? I mean, you're kind of stuck in the backwash here. It's always right. I'm very aware of this. That looks easy in hindsight. Oh shit, of course, yeah, I'd sell it there. Probably not. I wouldn't have. What are you working off of there? Oh, I don't know. It looks kind of sloppy. That's not what you want. I want something like this where it makes complete sense to me. I can look at this and go, okay, well this, just as we went through this. So if you're coming back towards something, you look left, right? Is there something you can pivot off of, right? Is there something you can anticipate? These guys are short. We're coming back. Well, what's going to happen here? Do buyers get aggressive here, or does more supply come into the market? Low risk trade. Nice potential return. Now, we could keep going here, right? This could get, if that's 3, 4, we could have it could easily play like this. Now, this is not an active target because that broke. But, all right, so that doesn't mean we're out of business. What do we got here, right? This is just based how do the markets typically trade. All right, here's your most common. Now look how that tees it up. Now, so you'd have a little high volume here. All right, I wouldn't ignore that. All right, tied to that likely. Can we get a set of median lines on this? That looks kind of interesting. That's the higher pivot. Well, this is going to be too far, so let's use that. Now, with that angle, I think if you go typically correction, you're going to go shift. That might catch it. All right, so look how that all just kind of tees up, right? All of that. That's what you hope to see. You start working around here. Okay, that looks corrective. That looks impulsive. Let's see if it's going to come down here. Well, where's the high volume node? Well, let's see. There's the 100. Now, what if I put some geometry on that? Oh, there's the lower parallel. And lo and behold, after all of that, you go, holy shit, look at it. It's all confluent or at the same spot. So this should be a relatively easy trade to identify. Okay, now do I get a reaction? Right, I got all of this here that's created that. Our bull's going to step in here, right? If they do, you'll get the reaction. Now, what's the first thing you're going to run into? The very first thing you're going to hit, those shorts. Right? If you come down here, what are they going to do? They're going to try and send you down. Oh, no. We're going lower, right? So that's what creates, so the little reaction kick. Now, can they get the stops, right? Because as soon as that happens, a bunch of stops get put right there. Now, can they get it? If they can't get it, I got to cover. Right? That's every pivot. That same process is happening. Always think, who's on the other side of my trade and why would they be doing that? What do they think is happening here? Seriously, okay. If I'm buying it, who's selling it and why are they selling it? Just a few thoughts to think about. So this sets up rather nicely down here. Boy, I love this at 121-ish. Oh, be careful of front runs as well, right? You got a little pivot there on that one. So you might even fatten that up a little bit and say, there's your buy zone. We come down here. Now I'm being assumptive here that we've got the 4 here. Per his count, we were here, right? That's the way he had it. That still could fly. Double bottom, you could hold here. This thing could turn right here for all we know, right? But it's just a better trade down here, right? The confluence factors are better down here. It doesn't mean that that's what the market's going to give us. It just means I like it better down here, and I would kind of assume that you all would as well. Oh, let's see, we're in logs, so we got to use a regular channel here. So something like that. Now, just one more component here. I don't like them. Let's not go too crazy with that. Right, boom, right? So just use connecting the dots. So all of that. So this line, the 100, this, high volume, fits with the Elliott count, right? So you put all of that together and you're just sitting here with your catcher's mitt saying, come on, man, bring it in. I got this, bring it in. Maybe not full boat when you get here, but I want a piece there. If I get here and I get a retrace, now I'm adding with house money. Okay, I got a little profit here. I probably tighten up my stop, right? Because the assumption is that the pivot's in, right? So you don't want to go, oh, well, I'm going to give that plenty of room, probably go down here. Well, maybe let's give it a little more room. You start moving your stop, right? That's the mistake. Market will always punish mistakes. So right here, keep the fucking stop there. Now, if it does this, now you're just going through the same process again. Now it's like, oh, do I get a reaction here? It's the moving the stop because you don't want to be wrong. Oh, fuck, I knew that was, oh, look at all that confluence. I don't want to be wrong. I set that up so nicely. You got to don't move the fucking stop. That's the theme of the day, right? So that I guarantee there's nobody listening here, including the person speaking, who hasn't done that and regretted it. It's a simple solution. Don't do it. I know, right? It's hard, right? Oh, fuck. I know that. I know it's going to turn. All right, I'll give it a little more room. All right, it's going to a little more. Right now you took an uppercut to the jaw. Now you're flat on your back going, oh, fuck. What am I going to do now? Right now, this happens to day traders all the time. The market gets so far. So let's say you're long here. I'll just make this a little bit of a lesson. If you're long here, the market gets so far from where you were long that now the hope you have that we're going to come all the way back and that trade turns into a profit, the best case scenario is that it approaches where you went long. And now you're thinking, oh shit, I'm back. That's right where it'll fucking turn. And all of that stems from the first mistake, moving the stop, right? If there's anyone who's never done that on this live stream, I want to shake your hand, but I'd want proof of that. There's nobody who hasn't done it.
You're likely full of shit.
Yeah, exactly. Right. We've all done it. Right. And we like, if I had just taken the small loss up, right. It's a discipline. And it's just like, okay. Right. It's just a jab. Right. You got in the ring. You're going to get fucking hit. To come in here and think, oh, man, you're not touching me. I'm dodging everything. Dodge. Oh, well, I'm going to hit you. You're going to get hit. It's just part of the game, right? You got to be able to take it. Don't let him knock you the fuck out. All right. I got a little rant there. I don't know how that happened. Okay, let me keep moving here. So nice, a couple of nice setups here from Koki, Link, and AAVE. But this one, boy, I really, really like it down here. That would be sexy, right? That's one that's easy to take, right? The risk reward clearly defined. The upside clearly there. The Elliott count clearly there. You're not nervous here. You don't want to be, oh shit, what did it do? Check the market. How we doing? Is it there? Oh shit, it's going toward my stop. Just put the stop on. Often I won't even look at it until I just say, oh, let's just let it go, right? Oh, what happened? Right? See, you don't get caught up in the, oh shit, it's going up. Oh no, it's going down. Oh, should I get out? Place the stop. You did all the work to set the thing up. Now let it go. Literally and figuratively, let go. You did the work. You got the money management in place. The setup is valid. Keep your hands off the mouse. All right, what's up? Mr. Jack. Oh, I haven't seen you for a while, Mr. Jack. What do we got here? Copy link. Mr. Jack, very solid Elliottician. Been with us for some time now. Always puts up good content. All right, what are we thinking here, Mr. Jack? We got CCL, Carnival Corporation. I love to see some trads get mixed in. Oh, look how sexy that is. So we got a 1, 2, 3, golden zone 4. That's beautiful. We are not in log scale. Let's pull out to a daily and just get some perspective. Okay, so what are we thinking here? Well, where's COVID? COVID's here. As it tries to recover, okay, that's certainly valid. ABC into the 1, ABC into the 2. We got a 5, 3, 5 into the, so we get a zigzag into the 3. Got a fat target here, so what do we have here? Golden corner pocket, right? Beautiful. You trade that right now. Now this is one where you could trade with this with options, because you could just you're buying at the money calls. You know, that's where you're headed. So well, you could do a call spread here. So the ideal way to do it is if assuming it starts to move in your direction, now you're selling the calls up above the target, right, to offset the cost of the calls here. So as it starts to move, those are getting more. There's more value being created there as the market moves towards it, and retail loves to buy out of the money calls because they're cheaper. So as it moves towards that, now you sell some calls up here, offset the cost here. You lock in, you cap your top, but you've got a clear target. Actually, the target's right here. God, what's not to like there? Perfect. Oh, you thought this golden zone was only crypto? Oh, no, my friends. You know better than that. Ooh, did that break? Let's get right on that. Looks like it might have. Well, that's a little fuck you right there. But obviously, they stayed with it. Do you see? Oh, God. All right, I gotta check that. That's too close. Let's get right on it. Son of a bitch, they did. They got to tick through. Oh, maybe not. Let's get right to it. Yep, they still did. Got through by a tick, but look where the pivot is. So obviously they stayed with it.
Hey, are you muted?
Sorry. So you've got you're in between two here. So you've got back-to-back algos. So this is the ideal scenario here. This is what fires a 3. Right. So we've got this algo with much higher targets, way the hell up there, right? Then you've got the little baby dog in here. Here's the big dog. Right? So this one is firing for this. 1, 2, 3. So, yeah, boy, that's a great setup. Great setup, Mr. Jack. So, big dog looking for this way the hell up here. Right? Little puppy. I'm using this analogy because that's what I have in my house now. A big dog and a little puppy. This is your entry here, right off of the golden zone. Look now look at everything that's here. Right? So this is just a great setup. Right? Look, these guys make it easy for me. So I've got all of this structure here. So resistance, support. Oh, now we break it here, but what do we run into? Oh, you're thinking, oh shit, it's going to fall. Shit, we're going down. It's going to free fall. Nope. No, what holds it, right? So I promise you most of retail does not know that algorithm is there. They don't know it. They don't know why it would pivot here, the confluence between a target and the next golden zone. They don't know about it. All right, let's keep it that way. So, what Jesus, what's the risk reward there? Let's just use that target. All right, we'll go give it a little cushion. Since this broke just slightly, we'll give that a little bit of a wick here. A little bit of a wick room. There's shit. If you want to be really tight, there's 9.3 to 1. That's assuming you get here. That could be your top, right? That could be your 5. Depending on what we do here. Golden corner. Just beautiful. It's great setup, right? So anyone, if you're looking, boy, what a beauty that is. Now, all right, so this is, oh, really? I'm going to buy a cruise line ship with all the COVID crazy going out? Yeah. Certainly on sale. In fact, it's at a 62% discount. Great chart. Great setup, Mr. Jack. All right, let me keep moving here. Oh, I got Grant F. Okay, well, this will be easy. Most of these, I don't even need to make a copy. They're so tight. Okay, let's see what we got from Grant F. NVAX. All right. Well, the only problem with this is that I can't get rid of the crosshairs, which is a little annoying since I talk with my hand on the mouse. I know it's annoying. I try to catch myself. All right. What I hope you guys gather here is how consistent his approach is. Every setup looks the same, so I don't even have to make a copy of it. Oh, I might pop this in log just to see how we look here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, what's our range here? So we went from the lows down here at $3 to a high of $300. So yeah, we could look log. That's a 2 hour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That, I don't know what's not to like there. That's 3. We weren't done. So ABC. This sets up the requirements for the harmonic. Yeah. Always nice. Tells me what it is because I forget. There's your cipher into the corner. So that's a 747 to a 1.101. So there's a range here where you're looking for that confluence point. Just like here, this is a 1.16, 626. All right, but boy, this is the setup here. So here's the confluence point here. So this is the PRZ, is what, as you would say that with in harmonic terminology. It's just pretty straightforward. It's a potential reversal zone. Oh, you could look at it as well. Just, okay, double top. Again, just to emphasize the point, what are these guys doing right here, right? They know that's close, right? So what are they trying to do? They're trying to go get those stops. They can't get them. Down we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So not only do they not get them, but we get an impulse off of the pivot. So the cipher kicks it. Now 1 A, B, C into the 2. So Jesus, this is, and you guys making my job easy. All right, so here's the reaction. So we get the pivot here. It looks like that's another 786. Actually, it looks like another 786 off of this. In between 1, 2. There's the golden zone. So let me get this out of there, and let's zoom in there. Okay, so what he's waiting for now is the completion. Well, now it could be in, right? So let's move that off. Now that could be in, but that looks like it's just one straight shot. Let's zoom in there a little bit. 1, 2. That's iffy. Doesn't look like a B, does it? Looks like it got to have a little more, which is what he's doing. All right, so he's saying that doesn't look like it's cooked enough. Oh, the only thing, well, he's on the other side of it. So the thinking being, okay, I've got an A going in. I'm working on the B. If I get that C, now I'd be careful about that target, Grant. I might give that just a touch more room if it were to get through. My guess is it wouldn't get through, but if it did, because this algo, it could be the same people for all we know. This algo likely will halt it. Now let's just look here. It's the only thing I'd be careful of, right? The 2, you could go a little higher since it was going 786 before. But so the play is it's just not labeled. All right, so A, B, looking for that C up here. Oh, kind of same idea, right? There's those structure rejection wicks was support, resistance. So bring it on up as he's got it. Let's see if I can do this. So it looks like this has gone a little further from when he posted this. That's what he's looking for right there. So watch list. Why would that not? Well, you know, if you're looking for trads, right? There's NVAX. Pretty good risk reward here. So what's he starting at? Because Grant will give you 3. He'll give you a trading plan on all of these setups. Okay, here's your first piece of the first algo target. 3.26 to 1, 11 to 1, 14 to 1. Right, each tied to different targets here. So here's the 23, 618, the 100. So it's algo 1, 2, and 3 targets. Boy, that's a nice setup, Grant. Beautiful. 1, 2. Now, the market may not cooperate here. You could be done, but if you're taking the trade, I'd rather let this thing go. Look where it is right now. Oh shit! I'd rather let it go and miss it on this round rather than. Let me dig in there. You're anticipating this, but market doesn't give a shit what you're anticipating. So I mean, it could do it here, right? It just does it look like it would? So I wouldn't be thinking, oh, 2's in. Because I want to see. So why? If I can't get that, then I skip the trade. Well, even though all this other setup is so good here. Oh, that could be the 2. Oh, could that be? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like that's a clean 1. That doesn't look like a great trade. So if you were shorting this here, now all you're doing, and this is what retail does all the time. They don't know that's there, so they see, right? If something's going down, they want to sell it. Well, just reflexively, if something's going down, I'm immediately wanting to buy it. That's just the nature of the markets, right? So, I mean, sure, there are trends that go and go and go and go, but in terms of where you're looking to enter, if you're trying to buy it here, so this is what they'll do. They'll sell it right here, and they don't know that's there, right? And then the market will move away from them. Oh, shit, what do I do now? Oh, it's really moving away. Oh, shit, I guess I better flip. I better go the other direction. Literally, this happens on a daily basis. They'll buy right into the next one, the next golden zone, because they don't know it's there. Now, you got to ask yourself, what are the criteria for your trading executions, right? If I don't get the 3 there, I don't take the trade. Why would you, right? The only reason you would is because you FOMO got you. Oh, shit, it's really fallen. Oh, I don't know, there's some news, something. Oh, it's going to go. Remember, you want to try and enter as close to where you're wrong as you can. If you're entering down here, where are you wrong? Up here? So you're going to go short here and you're wrong here? No, you got that ass backwards. If anything, you want to go long here and get out here or reverse here. But that's what retail does, right? So they buy it here. Oh, shit, look, it's really going up now. Wow, that thing's really moving. And they get bent over here. They sold it here. And it's just... It has to be counterintuitive, right? You think, oh, shit, I can't sell that. It's going straight up. Oh, man, I can't buy that. It's going straight down. But really what I'm trying to get to there is if it doesn't set up the way you want it, let the trade go. There's so many things to trade. Why would you ever take something that's not set up just the way you like it? No reason to, right? I mean, if you only had one thing to trade, that'd be different. God, the problem is we have too many things to trade. You can't find them all. All right. Grant F, just rock solid. Just a great trader. Okay, Woo Wonka. Oh, coming in with Woo Wonka, by the way, came to us. I think he was relatively new to trading. And my God, he just lit the place up. He started posting all the time, DMing constantly, a lot of questions. He wanted to learn. I think my guess is he's younger. I'd guess, well, definitely my guess would be, Woo Wonk, if you're listening, I'm guessing under 35, maybe even under 30. Just passed his blue belt yesterday, right? Which is no small task. So well done, Wonka. So let's see. All right. So now that I've set you up with all that praise, let's see what your count looks like. Oh, I wish I had like the first posts from him relative to what he's doing now. Well, he likes this. Oh, wait, I got to make a copy of it. See, I know he's younger based on the color coding he's done here. All right, well, what are we thinking? All right, so nice identification. So we're doing ether. Well, this will be interesting because James and Em and I have been back and forth on this. Could it be a 2, right? So the premise is the correction, the liquidation wick is done. Well, you didn't give me a lot here. Okay, well, so, oh, shit. Let's pull back a little bit. Oh, we got some Monty magic in here as well. Okay, so the assumption is the low is in. So when I see something like that, I just kind of want to do this and say, what did I run into there? What's there that I don't know? Well, so right off the bat, just looking at that relative to that, that makes me think that's an algo there. Well, we're in the pocket there. How would you use here? This is what they would definitely use the dominant. Oh, come here. So let's keep that there. Here's the first one. Well, here, right, so you got a reaction off of the 50. Now, if this is going to roll over again, you know, we didn't validate any thinking that the pivot low was in here. So let's go back to his 1 hour. All right. WaveX broke the channel made by this. So this, I can always tell when someone's fresh off of their test because they got all the rules. That's exactly right. Right. So in the channeling guidelines here is that we shouldn't break that, but we do. So let's pull that one off. So what are we thinking here? Okay, so he's got, now this is for his benefit, or those of you that are following Monte Crypto's trading, and his methodology will recognize this. I'm going to switch it here because many may not know that here. That will make more sense to Wu Wonka and those of you that understand Monte Crypto's approach. But so we have a contender here. So we've got a pivot. I got a candidate here for a diagonal. Yeah, it looks good, actually. Yeah, you can finish that. Okay, so we've got a candidate here. Could be an A, could be a 1. That looks like 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, there's a, sometimes the market doesn't give you what you want. I mean, that's not much of a B, A, B, C. You're kind of stuck with it. Just sideways into an X. Let's dig onto that last one. A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful. Oh, that's it would have been better if you did that. That's a little bit deep. So we're well beyond any algo here. So this is not a great, well, okay. So it looks like what you're doing is this, right? And then so it's just an M, right? Which you see in, well, all markets, but that's notorious in FX, right? You get your M here. Right, so as it heads down lower. So the best thing that I see here is how tight his money management, his risk control is. So this is a very low risk. He's after a 19-to-1. Now, you don't need to hit a lot of those to offset all the little losers like this. Right, so again, it's kind of the theme of the day. We want to enter as close to where we're wrong as we can. Right, so it looks like he's well, it looks like he's already, I don't know, I can't tell if you're already in, but he's looking at getting in right here on the corner of the median lines. Now, if it rolls over, you'd have to revisit this and think, oh, well, if we're going to get to a new low, right, it doesn't blow up the idea, right, because that looks like such a clear 3. Oh, you know, this is, I do it this way. A, B, C into that 2. Although I kind of want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So maybe it's there. This is a little squishy. 1, 2, 3. It almost looks like you get just a straight impulse into that. Oh, let's think for a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looks like a 3. Oh, fuck, let's just give it a quick peek in here. Where's this thing here so I don't lose it? Let's put that. Let's go to a 15-minute. How can we really get something to work there? Okay. That's your problem leg right there. Do we have a 1-2 in that? God, that's a stretch. Oh, you'd have to do it right there. 3, 4, 5. A, B. That's a little shaky. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's label it up. Oh God, sometimes I regret this. 3, 4, 5. A, B, C. I don't love that. So there's an A. So there's an A, B. Eesh. Let's go with it. I mean, process of elimination. Unless it's a... That really looks like an ABC, but we might have to just take the little baby one there. W. Well, it's not impulsive, right? So we can just kind of squish that together. It's not impulsive, so it looks got to be some sort of diag 1, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a little iffy on the finish. Now, this is your problem spot here because you need an ABC to finish here. So A, B, let's make that bigger. Let's go to micro. White because I got a funky background here. A, B. Well, already that's... I think you might have to come down a little bit here. So this looks like it's going to play better down here. Whoa, shit. Down here at the 50. So don't be surprised if you're redrawing down here because this is not looking great. Oh, is that locked? That's locked. Let me reset this down here. That's kind of what I think looks... Oh, let's just take this. This is the golden zone that broke. Okay, so here's... Just checking here. Right to the 50. Note, again, splits the Vegas wave. I'm pulling from the higher pivot. I'm not sure it will matter here. It's because the algo doesn't give a shit about a 2. It's just going to use the closest pivot. That's starting to look pretty good right there. So you'd have the confluence of the algo target at the 50. And while this is not the greatest start, the 4 and the 2 are obviously kind of not great. I might put the 2 over here to give that a little more time. I'm just trying to accommodate what the market is showing me, but the 2 to the 4, certainly not ideal, but that sure does look like there's one more kick down. Oh, just the last piece here. Let's see if we can get one more component on that. Let's take the length of the A projected from the B. It's not spot on here, but that's interesting here. We get the 1618, 175 here. That's why it looks like this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is not what the count really wants. Which makes me think maybe there's an alternate in here. Maybe not here. So let's. I could spend an hour in here if I'm not careful here. This is where I think you want to be on this. So if you get stopped out on the little pivot here where you have it here, if you get stopped out, just take the small loser. I'd be revisiting down here because this looks way too like a 4, way too much like a 4. Right now things can change, but that looks very. We're not progressing the trend. We're just going sideways, right? Classic 4, right? So the push down here looks probable. But all right, so you take a small loser, welcome to trading, all right, and then you revisit down here at what potentially now you get a better setup down here. Oh, right, so always look left. All right, so we've got some of this to play off of. Oh, there's probably a volume profile in there somewhere. Nope, he doesn't have it on there. That's all right. Okay, so anywhere in here looks pretty interesting. So we'd be talking 35 and change. Well, looks pretty good. All right. So you're not stopped out yet, and I couldn't quite tell if you're in or not, but that looks like a better entry there. Okay, good job, Wu. All right, let me see. We haven't looked at sand for a while.
We have a donation.
Oh, great. We'll get to that soon. That's good. We appreciate that. Okay, let me finish up on Wu Wonka here.
Okay.
And then, because this is the last one I've got from members, and then we'll take a look at that one. Shit, maybe we'll finish early today. Oh, Wu, you and these fucking colors. Oh, wait a minute. You gave me, no, I got the wrong one. This is, I grabbed the link. Did you give me the same link? You gave me the same link. Okay, so so you're on Binance. So I think if I go SAND, what did you want? USDT. I can get there we go. Okay, so I got your sand. There it is. All right. Well, I can't say I love that risk reward right off the bat. That's a little, I understand what you're thinking here, right? The structure here, but you typically, there has to be a reason for you to go into something with less than 3 to 1. So you must like the setup. We are in log. Let's pull out to a 4 and get some perspective on this. Okay, I see what you're thinking. All right, so where are we here? 4 hour from this low here. This is the summertime low. 1, 2. Woo. This looks to me like that's your one. A, B, C into the 2, or W, X, Y, either one. So I'll do it that way. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's clean. So he's really playing off of, well, per his count. See, I just think there's too much, right? You've got too much there. 1, 2, 3. Looks like the 3 finishes here. 4, and you can't. All right, that would be a 3. So, well, so just the geometry alone would support the idea here. But you could do it. Oh shit! I'm gonna fuck you up there doing it that way. Let me do it with because we're in log. It's a pain in the ass. Let's do it this way. Oh, you're kind of screwed here. I can't even get it. You got to kind of just eyeball it, right? Since you can't draw a channel in log. Are we done here? So the premise is that we're done. So pardon me, we're done with the 3. There's your 3. Well, let's just do a little measuring. 1, 2. Right, so he got this right. Right, we're just shy of the most common spot for it. Right, now note, that's based off of this is the 1. 1, 2. We come just shy of the 1, 6, 1, 8. Well, the obvious spot is this. Clearly, we got support there, which lines up here. So this starts to look a little more interesting here at the 38. Now, can we get there? What do we got there? I'm going to push this off to the. Oh, you double banged me. I'm going to push that off to the side. Let's see what we're thinking here. This already, you got to get me that 3 to 1, right? That's what you need. Give me at least 3. So if we put that back, if you're a buyer here, no, that looks a little bit better. All right, so I'm going to push that off just so we can dig in here. Okay, so I can see them. Okay, let's go back to a 1 hour. So same thinking as Ethereum. We got, oh fuck, what do we got here? It looks like ABC, ABC. So WX, well, you'd have to be thinking WXY, WXY for that to be a low. Looks like there's an impulse there. So we got an impulse to start it. 1, 2, 3. It's a little shaky up there, but you're kind of stuck with it. Huh, I got double counts. 3, 4, 5. Okay, what are we doing with that? Well, that doesn't look great. Okay, so we're not there yet, but this looks like it's going to get threatened. Certainly, it's going to get tested. Well, what is this? Well, that's an impulse. Can you do it here? You got some clear support and resistance up here. That looks like golden zone. A little bit through it. You can't count this one because they already broke it here, so that's off the board. Note, Vegas wave. Little shot through, and then we're back under. That, actually, they could use. So this is the lower low. There it is. Okay, do you see that? So here, this is the highest high to the low, because this is just beyond that one. So if I get right on that low, so since those are broken, right now we get the perfect, right? So there's where the algo fired right there. And if you look, you'll find it. See, these got stopped out. You can just look at it here, but it's just far enough to where it holds it, right? So now there's the target. So that, oh fuck, what are we going to call that? I guess you got to go ABC into that. So this looks like you got to go A, B, C. So, oh fuck, come here. W, X. That's not what you want there. Let's revisit that. What else could that be? It's not impulsive, right? It's corrective, but it's. I mean, they're close, but this is lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Right? So we're trending lower. You're coming right into all of this. Right? So there's the setup, but this is, what are you calling that? This is a mystery pattern at the moment. Maybe WXY, but now you need this. Right, so this is going to get threatened. Right, if the count is going to carry on here, this is right. It's probably not a 2. Right, so this can probably come off the board. Can't get a triangle in there. You're kind of stuck with just sideways shenanigans. Right, that's really what's. Oh, that's all wick, but might look at it this way. And go until that, what have I got here? I got a range. So that's probably keying off of something below. That's holding this here. Here, I'll take this off. So what, all right, that's the closest. Are they using that? Oh, there's the 50. That's the lower low. So here's 50 to the tick. Looks like they may well have used that. Here's the next algo target, but here's second target. If we're coming down here, so this looks like you're kind of trying to set this up. Oh, fuck, come here. All right, get that first target, bump into all of this structure, kick back a little bit. All right, that looks like where that's headed. You can't, 10 Elliotticians give you 10 different counts there. Who knows what the fuck that is? We can't determine what it is. Well, here's the one thing we can say. It's corrective, right? There's no, it's not an impulse, right? So it's corrective. So it's part of something. That's how I would lay it out. Now, so I would not be overly anxious to be buying, but down here I like it a lot. I think you're probably looking here. Now, let's see how that lines up here. Oh, well, we already have it. Let me get it right on that pivot. Well, so here's the 38 right here. So if well, you can see that's the 38 coming in right here. All right. So what you're looking for is anywhere in here. And then you're going to get the whole thing to finish better. So whatever this is, it's corrective. Maybe you can get your pardon me, if this is your X, you can get your A, B, C out of that. So down here, assuming, right, if crypto is going to stay weak, what are we doing with Bitcoin? 46.5, right? So something like this down here, you're playing off of structure. You'd have pattern. You'd have the channel, right? Remember the channel we drew initially? Well, shit, we could probably tighten that up a little bit. You'd have that as well, just trying to stay parallel there. All of that says, okay, well, here I get interested. Till then, I don't know what that is, so that's got to resolve itself. It's just got to give us more data, right? It hasn't revealed itself. So boom, playing off of all that again, right? If I can get into that, now of course you got all of this will be resistance, so the market's going to have to be kicking to get that. All right, tricky one. It almost looks like you were working on triangle there, but now we've broken out of that. I don't think we can get that to work. It wouldn't work. All right, let me keep moving. Good job, Will Wonka, and congrats on the blue belt. Okay, so what we got a request. What was it, Money?
Yeah, so OHM DAI.
Okay,
So just type that in.
Hang on. Let me get some of these off, or I'll get stuck.
It's going to be on Sushi Swap. There should only be one.
Okay, hang on. Let me clean these up a little bit. Okay, so we're going. Oh fuck here. Oh shit. Here, let's just do a third one here. And one more time.
OHM DAI.
All right, that's got a bunch of stuff on there. Let's go to something you'll be familiar with. Oh, here, we'll do it with the OBV. Okay, so let's get those down out of there. Let's get you hidden. All right, what do we got here?
I also just messaged you on Discord, and so I guess it was requested on Monty's stream on
Oh, good.
October, like October 14th, I think.
Ooh.
And so I sent what I did in the video and then the updated chart because I took a look at it. So you might show those two.
Okay. Well, so this is, well, but they won't, if they haven't been to one of your live streams, they won't understand what all the lines that are on here. So we'll just do a back and forth. Okay. So I'll give you an Elliott perspective. So first, right, if I haven't looked at something, first I got to look at the daily. So do we see any sort of Elliott structure here? No. What do we see? What do we see? Right. So this looks like that's the pivot. So there's not a lot from an Elliott perspective. So, well, so if somebody said, hey, take a look at Olympus to the die on stablecoin, and I brought that chart up, I'd already be gone. But because somebody's in here and they've got a position here, so what do you do with this? So because you can see the potential was there. Oh, hey, well, it looks like we got a 1-2. All right, 1, 2. Oh, that's good. Oh, look at this big rip into the 3. Okay, maybe, right? So what do you now truncate? I just see this thing hasn't matured yet. So you just kind of, we got support, we got resistance, we got a high volume node right in the middle. Oh, all right, let's go down progressively. Well, there's a big wonkin' 3. So if you were thinking truncated 5, that doesn't work. Can you actually get a? Looks like you can. It looks like an ABC is what it looks like. Because it looks like you can get well, let's just do it. All right, so there's a 1-2. I need a 1-2 in here. Looks like you're going to have to do it this way. Boy, that's quite a rip in the 5. A, B, right? There's not much around that. A, B. Looks like we're heading towards, oh, that's not, what did I do? I wanted this. A, B. Looks like we're heading towards that C. It looks to me like that's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 of the 5. So we're coming down here at support. Geez, you've already kind of blown. Well, okay, so here, obvious locations that you're going to have to get through on the way back up. So my assumption is if you're asking, you're long, or you're interested in getting long, well, there's really not enough here other than to think, all right, well, here's the base. We could do this. I'd look at, I would check a couple of things. Length of the 1, if that is the 4, well, 2618 would be a pretty good extreme if you got the opportunity to add or be a buyer down here. Oh, let's check the 2 to the 4, see if that's technical. We'd be well past the algo target. Let's get that right on it. That's close enough. There's a little stutter. We're at second. This would be surprising, but they could take it down that far. Oh, what's our range here? We got to look at it in log, see if it gets any better. Let's just check a couple of things for technical confluence. Oh, just one more piece here, just because I don't want to leave it undone. How do we look up here? Well, there was the death knell to any thinking that it was 1, 2. Well, you're already in trouble here. Since we're corrective here, this is starting to look. So it looks like he went 1, 2, or A, B. But boy, where are we? You don't want this to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would imply much lower prices. And there's room for lower prices. So this is about, I guess if you put all this together, maybe you do it this way. Work off of this. That's the lowest low. That looks like that's too far. But this is pretty typical for an ABC. Okay, so this is that's a bit of a problem. You might be able to do it this way. Okay, so let's rethink this. Might be able to do it this way. So there's a 1. Let's do the whole thing. All right, so we'd have 1, 2, 1, 2. You got to pick one. So 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. Now let's get that up a degree. Come here. Okay, so you're gone. Okay, so looks like there's 1, 2. There's a little A, B, C. 1, 2. Now I'd measure. All right, same thing every time. 2. You know, I need that. I don't want to put the 3 here because then it gets too long. So this looks like a better one here. So we've pretty good extension here in the 3rd. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go with it for the time being. I'm still on an 8-hour. That's definitely the 1, 2. Let's just check this one here with the internal for some guidance. Not getting it right on. But this is the cleanest ABC, right? I got nothing here. So I want to put it there because I get my 3 into the 4, 1, 2. All right, it looks like it's got more to go. So if that's the 3, which I'm basing off of because of that structure here, because this is just lower lows, lower highs still going. Now let's go up a degree. which means this goes up a degree or two. All right, so still going. All right, this is bad news for a bull. Go to green. So it looks like that long-term support is going to get tested again down here. So this high volume node here, some of the structure. So maybe set it up like this. You got a reasonable spot there where we started the one wave here, the one of the one. It gave us the two, right? As it tested it all the way back. Now looks like we're gonna come all the way back to it down here again, which would make sense. Well, if you like this project and you want to get long, I'd be aggressive here. And I don't know anything about them, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, anywhere down here. You're gonna have a clear plan for money management here, because based on where you are, you're gonna need. Here's the first big hurdle you have to get through, right? POC, all of that structure there. You're gonna need that before you get that. Oh, let's see. So let's pull all that. This is where I think I'd be intrigued. Let's put it in context. That's not the greatest looking setup here from an Elliott perspective, but even just the structure alone. I mean, you can kind of use the Elliott as a guideline here. Oh, one other thought, just out of curiosity. There you go. Let's get that right on. So look what we just did. Interesting. Well, shit. I mean, that could be done there. I mean, I could be wrong about the count here. That we could be done. It doesn't look like it's done. So if we go back to that lower time frame, how would you be done here? Even though, well, here's the algorithm's kicking, right? You can see it, right? You don't even have to wonder about it. Looks like you'd have to go, Jesus, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get the fifth of the third. But that's what I'm keying off of right there. This is the only place where I see this, where I get that. 1. Well, you can't, right? There's no solution here. I can't. Well, pardon me. If I had a WXY, but that's not what the count suggests. So you got 1, 2. Well, okay. So remember, market doesn't have to do anything, right? It's what the market, right? I get it once I get rolling. It's not what the market does. It's what the market's supposed to do and doesn't. Well, right now, this would be very hard from an Elliott perspective to have that done here off of this 3. Again, market doesn't care what we think, right? Doesn't care that, oh, well, that would fuck up my Elliott count, right? This would be very hard to see a solution here from an Elliott perspective, right? Just emphasis, that wouldn't bring us at least into something like that. We'll come back here and test that. That would make sense. Then you'd stay in the golden zone. You'd get your 5 in the finish. Now, you'd be... That's tricky. Right? So if you were to get this, if you were to get that little kickback here, we don't know how far that goes, but you can see why it's happening, right? So if you were to get that, well, that's not bad actually. Let's just take a look here. Look at that. Look where the target is. So if this pivots up here in algo range, right, could be the golden zone. You'd prefer it to be the 50, right? Then you're not going, oh shit, that's too big for the 4. We're going to threaten the 1. Although you could have a diag here. Although that looks like a 1. That looks like a 3. Subdivision's getting a little shaky in there, but boy, that sets it up right there. Now, this can happen, right? So you're down here, you're ready to go down here, and the market doesn't accommodate. Well, thus you might have to find yourself positioning it such that you ladder in if it's breaking down here, because we don't know, right? You've got the confluence of the 65 and the target. Now we don't have this yet, right? So I'm just kind of forecasting. But since you seem to like this project, I'd have a ladder set up here where I might do a third. Well, you'd have to start here. A third, and a very deliberate stop where you just, okay, I was wrong. That's how I'd approach it. Oh, let's see. We're still in log. And then I'm coming back to your stuff. Let me do it like that. Okay, now let's see how that factors into what Monte Crypto's got, which is he's got his golden zone down here, same thing. I should let you take it off here because you can describe your work better than me.
Well, I sent you 2 charts. So pull up the first one. That's the screenshot of the actual.
Is this the second one?
When I did the video.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Let me get that one up as well. Okay, so you were looking for the reaction here, and
yeah, so we were basically at all-time high, and I basically just
right here.
Yeah, let me pull it up too. Yeah, so we're basically at all-time high, and I had the algo there, and just with that fork I did, the pitchfork, I mean, I figured we would potentially swipe the highs, and basically I think after I posted the video, it nuked.
There it is.
Down to the 0 line, which is I guess I've got it on there, the right around 600, and bounced. So that, that would be the sell, I guess, technically. If you saw the rip down, all right, I want to sell the 5618 because I don't know what's going to happen next. And so it's actually gone deeper than the POC that I had. So it's probably going for value area low potentially, which is not on there. I didn't think it would.
Here's
there,
I can look at it here. There's nothing over here. I'm in log scale, but there's no support over there because it's all tied to those big wicks where nothing was there.
Yeah, so I mean, it could bleed all the way down to 265 or so. I mean,
you got a little more.
Of threes.
Yeah, it sure does. So if I come back here, it looks like that's what. So the thinking, right? It looks corrective, right? So A, B, C, right, coming back into the structure. So you might get that. Well, a good target there on the long, if you got that.
Yep. So
we shall see. Okay, I think we wrapped up.
Nice
oh my
when they
God,
work out like that. I forget to go back and look at them all, but I had drawings on it, so I went and looked at what day I did the analysis and worked out all right.
Beautiful. Right, it looks like that's coming right into your sweet spot. So if you're looking, you're right. You're approaching where you ought to have finger on mouse. Okay, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. Now, you will have now, if you're interested and you got a teaser there, don't miss tomorrow where you'll get a lot more detail about the mechanics of how he sets up the support and resistance, his unique approach to working with median lines, and how he's kind of created his own version of the algo. It's really interesting stuff. Right? I highly recommend it, particularly for those who go, well, Elliott's all right, but maybe we could loosen up a little bit on the Elliott and work with support and resistance and some of the things that he will teach you. As I say many times, he's got a huge following now amongst the members. So don't miss that. I think it'll just be a nice addition to your arsenal of tools as you're approaching the market. And with that, I guess we sign off. Now, so you got Monte Crypto tomorrow on Wednesday, no live stream on Thursday. I'm back for Bitcoin Friday. That should be interesting. And with that, I guess we'll call it a day.
All right.
Yeah, we're good. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Okay, we'll